Hey guys, I'm here with Anthony Pape today, acupuncturist, and we're going to do a quick little tutorial on how to take photos of your business on your iPhone and then uploading it to the online listing. And actually, we're using Anthony because he has a Samsung phone. So that's something that I haven't used before, but we're going to do it today. And we're going to go super low tech. That means it's just basically we're using our camera phones and we're going to do everything with equipment that you can get on Amazon. Let's get started. All right, so here's a little shot list that I made up for Anthony, and it's very basic. It starts with headshots, and I wanted to do 3 scenarios. We can do it in this lobby area, in the treatment room, and also more of a lifestyle portrait headshot where he's actually doing something to a client. We're gonna have what we're going to do in the waiting room is this room that we're currently in, and I just want to show the waiting room. I want to show Anthony behind the desk working with a client, and we're going to do that both straight on and 3/4. And we're going to do at the service counter here, we're going to do a shot of someone checking in, and then in the treatment room we just want to show him consulting a client, maybe having the client stand up while he's looking them over, and then also we're going to have the client laying down and Anthony in action. All right, and we have our timing, and this is a sheet that you can download online, and based on this we're going to get started. Anthony, you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, so for our initial phone setup, we're going to do a couple of things. We want to check to see if we can do JPEG versus RAW. So I know that in this particular phone, you have this option to go to more. And on more, you can actually, it's the Pro Video mode. And you can click this edit button. And this will allow you to drag the Pro Video mode down into your most used bar. So I've already done that on his phone. So when you go to the Pro mode, it's going to allow you to shoot in RAW. Go to his camera is actually a 12 megapixel camera, which is great. And I am saving RAW and JPEG when taking photos in Pro mode. Okay. So in the Pro mode, if you start changing settings, it will take it out of the auto mode and it will stick. So if you start playing with these settings and you need to go back to your normal mode, just hit reset and it'll go back to completely being auto, which is what we want. Okay. The only other thing I would say is turn off the flash mode, and let's get started. So we're going to tackle the first shot, which is Anthony's headshot in lobby. So here we are in the lobby. And if we can just look around the lobby, if you can take your camera and do a circle around the lobby. All right, so we can see that there is a light source by the window here. And so I'm going to utilize this light source as much as I can. If you remember from my earlier video, what I talked about in terms of lighting is to use natural light if you can. It will help with a bunch of things, and I can show you the difference between this and that. All right, so I'm going to turn off the light in here and turn off the light in here. Okay, and then the second thing is I'm going to look for an angle. So I'm probably going to be standing with my back to the window because that's where the light is. And how do I bring this up? So now I'm going to be on this side, and I'm going to shoot him with this being the background. So let's look for a good place where this can be the background. Okay, so you can see on this side, there's a lot of different things that's available. And the way that we're going to do this is reduce the amount that's being shown. So we can kind of figure out where is the good area to have a good background. And I'm almost thinking, if you come over here, if I framed it up like this, it might not be, it might be interesting to show that there's some things happening in the background, that it's an office, or do I just want to have him with nearly nothing behind him? So I'm going to do both. Let's try to do both. You stay there. Oh, there's no door here. Okay. So a couple of things. Do we need to clean anything up? Let's have you first stand on this side right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna just kind of clean up the space. Earlier you saw in my framing that the pillows are sort of in the way, so I'm just gonna move that out of the way. Okay, great. And so, so in terms of framing, the headshot is really only gonna be about his head. So I don't need to be standing this far back. And in fact, I'm gonna zoom in. And then I don't want anything sort of interfering with the back of his head. So I might come more at an angle like this. And here, there's a good framing, but I'm either gonna open this door all the way or close it all the way. So right now, I'm just gonna open it all the way because I like seeing the light in the back. All right, stay here. Okay, good. So now this is my approximate distance away from my subject, and this gives me a good framing on his face, and it also allows for the background to be slightly soft. But here we go, I'm gonna do one here. Oh, it's on video, I'm sorry. Go back to photo, go to zoom in. Okay, let's zoom in here. And actually, I'm going to have you come forward so I can have the background be even more out of focus. Okay. All right. So something like this is good. 1, 2, 3. Good. And then we tell a bad joke and you laugh. There you go. Good. Chin down for me just slightly. Good. Good. Great. And then why did the dinosaur eat the egg? I don't know, I'm just, that's not an actual joke. Okay, great. So we've taken, you can see that I've taken a few shots here, partly because I want to make sure I get some options. I want to get different expressions. So here's with chin up more, here's with mouth closed. So let's do a couple more with just the normal expression like this. I do like that he had his chin up, but I didn't want him to appear like he has his chin up. So I'm gonna actually have his chin up, but I'm gonna go to a slightly different camera angle. I'm gonna go from up a little bit. Okay, all right, and looking at the, maybe turn your face just a little bit this way. Okay, now looking at the camera, looking at here, 1, 2, 3, good. Okay, good. All right, good. And I'm looking at the frame around his head. Actually, let's have you come even more forward. Okay, good. And by bringing him more forward, now, actually, here, that's not bad. If I do this, then I can get those plaques in the back, and it looks like you're a professional. Okay, good. And any opportunity to sort of make a joke and have your clients laugh is good. So, okay, good. All right, and just glance out the window for me real quick. This is a little trick that I do to get people to not look at the camera anymore. Okay, and something funny happening outside. There you go, perfect. Okay, all right, and so that's enough for a shot here. Let me just take a look. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, great. All right, do you want to see these? Sure. Right. So we have, I think probably looking at the camera is best. Yeah. I like having the plaques in the back. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's your plaques, but.
Yeah, one of them is. So that's fine.
So then now I'm thinking like this angle is probably not as good. So let me just do a few more with the plaques in the back.
Sure.
Okay, great. Close this door. Okay. All right, do a couple more like this. Okay, and maybe I just, maybe I can have his face like this way. Okay, because I'm just thinking about how it's going to look in the end. And so having the plaques kind of close to his face is good, but not intersecting his face. Okay, good. Chin down for me, just a smidge. Okay, yeah, good. And then put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, like suck it to the top of your mouth. Okay, mouth closed. Good, that's good. Perfect. Okay. Okay, great. That's good. So one more look here. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yep, good.
Smiling. Okay, great. Okay, so something like this, I think is perfect. So I'm gonna just favorite that. And then I wanna look for one where his face is just slightly closer to the plaques. Okay, and one of these is good. Okay, so I have a few options here. I'm gonna have a big smiling one. All right, so I would say shot one is done. Let's take a look at shot. I would say shot one is done. Let's take a look at shot two. Okay, good. And so, all right, so here we are. Are you still rolling? Okay, here we are in the treatment room. And, I wanted to kind of show some charts on the wall. I want to show some equipment sitting there. So I'm going to just take a quick look through the space. Do we want to move anything around to sort of create more of a vibe? We can. Let's see. So come in and we'll look on all sides here. Okay, so on this side of the room, we have some equipment, but it does presents a little bit on the messier side. And then we have a rolling cart, which is good, which means we can move it around if we need to. If you come onto this side of the room. So looking at this side of the room, it's less decorated. We do have a shelf with some books on it, so that, that kind of adds to appeal to authority here. Okay. So what would be, I think, ideal? On this side, there's an upward light. So if he was over here, it might be difficult. Let's see what happens if we open this up. Okay, the lighting is slightly better here now. Hard to tell. Let me see what I look like in this lighting. It's kind of a upward light. And then let me see what it looks like on this side. I think we're also going to get an upward light on this side. The lighting on this side seems to be better. Okay. All right, let's just try it. Let's try having you sit down in this chair here. And okay, so I'm gonna have you come behind me so you can see what I'm shooting. All right. So I can definitely shoot a shot like this, that's fine. I would just clean up some of the stuff in the background to present it a little bit better. And actually, I'm gonna have you stand up. Yeah, that's probably better. I can see the charts in the back. And what if you took a little step to this side and then turned facing this way, your body. Yeah, a little less. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm gonna move just a couple of things. I'm gonna just move the boxes. So I'll move the boxes out of the way, move this out of the way, and I'm gonna just kind of arrange things a little bit. Maybe back here, and don't the fan. I'm gonna move the fan down to the floor. Okay, just a quick little cleanup, and now let's try it again. Okay. So here's something that I'm looking at. Anthony, just step out for 1 second. Okay, so this is the background, right, that I'm framing up. And so when Anthony comes back in, how big should his head be will determine where he actually stands. So come back in. Okay, and then take a tiny step to this side and then come towards me more. Okay, yeah. And then take another tiny little step this way. Okay, great. Okay, and then what about putting the stethoscope on? And then what, yeah, there you go. Oops, I did something. Okay. And pro mode. And reset. And, oh, was I on pro mode earlier? I don't know if I was, because I changed it back to photo. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, okay. That looks good. That looks great. Okay, and then take a tiny step to this way. Okay. So now I have the red bins and the chart in the background. And then can you wear your stethoscope, like drape it over around your head like that? You can see it a little bit better. Okay, good. All right, good. There you go. Yeah, chin down for me slightly. Yeah, good. Nice, good. Yeah, nice friendly smile. And what do ducks eat?
What?
Quackers. That's right. Okay, good. Okay, excellent. Okay, so let's take a look at these. So if you are in the Pro mode and you're shooting RAW and JPEG, this is the JPEG, which is basically the cooked photo. It's already pre-cooked. And then here is the RAW photo. Because we did a digital zoom, it's going to actually give you the photo without the zoom. And you can zoom in and crop later. And you can do a lot to the different... so you can see that this one hasn't been sharpened and hasn't had any sort of stuff done to it. This is what an uncooked photo looks like. And then here's the cooked version of that same photo. So we could just use the cooked version if we liked it, which is probably what we'll end up doing. Okay, so this is what that looks like. Yeah. Okay, so that's another good headshot. And so I would say shot number 2 is done. Okay, so we're gonna go and do the waiting room shots, and follow me. Some thoughts about the waiting room shot. If you look around, you'll see that there's a bright light source and there's also multiple sides. So the idea is we're gonna kind of explore to figure out which side we're gonna shoot on, and for the best light, and also to show the most interesting detail about this waiting room. Okay, so a couple of things. I'm just looking through the camera here and see how wide of an angle I have. And you know, it's not that wide. The angle is not that wide. So I'm gonna have to really either back up. I'm really gonna have to back up, or I'm gonna have to shoot at an angle. And I like shooting rooms straight on for its geometry, but but I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to do something different here. And Anthony shares the office. Anthony shares the office with another chiropractor who specializes in pediatrics. So you can see that there are some toys here, but I don't actually want to necessarily show that because that's not what he does. So what I want to do is stay on brand for him. And so let's look around and see if we can find something here that will help us tell that story. In order to figure out which angle I'm going to shoot, I'm just going to very quickly shoot all the variety of angles that I can. So any straight to the wall and any 3/4 to the wall. And then I'll show you, and then we can decide on which angle is best to use. Okay. So just to go over quickly, here are the shots that I made just now. And so here's the angle looking towards the entry. Not bad. Here's the angle looking towards the bookshelf, which is not bad either. This angle I'm not liking because I don't really get enough of either side. This one's okay, but I would move the pillows out of the way. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do an angle from the door without the pillows. And I'm going to do, I think, one of these here. And I'll remove some, I'll clean it up to remove any stuff that doesn't belong there. And I might do one like this as well. Okay? So the easiest looks like is to start with this angle. We just have to remove a couple of items and we'll be good to go. All right, so here's the angle, and the objects in the room that we're gonna look at is everything. So let's start with the door. We close the door. Let's do the little shelf here. What's up? Testing 1, 2. Okay. Alrighty, so now that we've cleaned up the side, let's take a look at what we have. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to back up even more. So flat to the back wall as possible. You can see. Okay, so I'm just moving as far back as possible. So something about shooting a square room is obviously this wall right here is parallel to that wall, and I need my camera plane to be parallel to that wall. So you can imagine if I shot a photo like this, it would be completely, it would be at the right angle to that, to the other surface. So basically from this perspective, from thinking about it in that way, I can now take a shot holding my camera as flat to that back wall as I can, but still getting everything in the shot that I can. Okay. And then my model is looking just fine. She's on the phone. I don't need her to do anything else. That's great. She can look at me for one. And then let's do one where there's an action involved. And let's have, hey, Anthony. So now I'm going to have Anthony stand at the door. Here, let me show you what I just took. Okay, so this is what I just took, which is fine. But oftentimes Anthony will come to that doorway there, and then basically you're going to be talking to your client from there. But great to see you. Let's see. And actually, I'm going to have Jill, if you could just sit down again, and it's as if you just looked up and saw him, basically. So you have your phone in hand still, and Anthony walks in and says, "Hey, you ready?"
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. And then go ahead and get up. And, yeah, great. Perfect. Okay. All right, let's take a look at what those look like. That's a good one. You can see her action. You can see he's smiling genuinely. And something like this is okay. That one might be okay. That one might be okay. But I think we saw it earlier. Putting the phone down and laughing, that was perfect. Okay? And the photo is not totally straight, so we'll correct for that later. Okay? Now we're going to do a shot. Let's have you move over a little bit. Both of you, move over this way a little bit. Yeah, good, perfect. Okay, good. And camera is clean. That's fine. Okay, so you're talking about something, maybe watermelons.
I love watermelon. I can't wait to have watermelon on your new deck this summer. That's going to be so great. And I make great.
Good. And then maybe handing over your credit card.
Credit card.
Here, I have your purse with you.
Just, can you take all my money?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, great. Let's take a look. I'm just going to lose this. I'm going to lose these. That can stay.
I can see.
Okay. And then the pens, that's fine. Yellow pad out of there. Okay, one more try.
For what?
Okay, so same thing. You're basically checking out. You're talking. Yeah, smiling. Yeah, good. And then Jill, can you brush your hair off the front shoulder? Yeah, that one towards me. Okay, good. And Jill, move a tiny little step to your right. Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So you see, basically, I wanted to show you, here's what I'm looking at for framing. Like within the frame, I don't want to see anything that's a distraction. Like I don't necessarily want those pens there. I almost don't want the cable there, but it's okay. It's not really that distracting. The painting is fine, and these signs I don't want. But I do want to show a computer. I want to show the checkout machine. I want to show them having an interaction. Okay? And so I'm going to shoot a bunch while they do this. All right? Okay, go ahead and talk about watermelons and taking the card and handing the card to him again one more time.
I also think eating watermelon with salt is disgusting.
Okay, good.
Yeah. You do too? Okay, Thomas loves it.
Perfect. Okay, good. And then maybe talk about scheduling next time. Maybe Anthony has to look on the computer now.
I want to schedule a 2-hour massage for tomorrow.
And then Jill, take a tiny step to your right.
And
Yeah.
it has to be at like 8 p.m.
Let me see if I have that open.
Okay. And then let me get a slightly different look here. Let me actually zoom in. So, and both of you take Jill, take a tiny step to your right again. Okay. All right. So what I want to do is I want to show that there's a computer that he's working. Okay. And looking at each other, laughing. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. Okay.
Such a good time.
Yes.
So something like that is what I'm looking for. Client interaction. This is perfect. Okay. And this is fine. This is more a lifestyle where he's not looking. So these are great. And that's good. Okay, good. I would say that shot is done. And I had said to shoot straight on in 3/4, but I think that's all we're gonna do is that, because we have it. All right, and that's basically takes care of this service counter shot, which is someone checking in and making future appointments. And so now let's go into the treatment room, and I'm gonna do some lifestyle there, and we'll be good. Come on. Yeah, so how do you want to do? But I wanted one where you're sitting and you're talking to each other, but you're seated. And then maybe we can do it without the sweater. Then no, we're not going to shoot in this direction. Yeah. You go. From this chair. Okay. I think you're going to sit facing that way. Okay. And then I'll have you also sit here. Okay. All right. Do where you want. Okay. And then I'll move this to go. And then I'll move these buttons. Let me do one this way. And then you make the chair go higher. Okay, perfect. And so, all right, you guys are talking.
Well, I need a 2-hour massage.
Well, you are. So
Dang it.
that works.
That's fine. I'll do acupuncture.
Okay.
That sounds good. My back aches.
Oh, okay.
No,
Or does it?
acupuncture.
Okay, great. And then let me do one from out here so I can get a wide. I want to talk about is shooting with the backlight. Basically, you're not always going to have the perfect scenario. So when you have a very dark room and a very bright source, best thing to do is just to get rid of that bright source. Okay. And I know that now it seems to be pretty dark in here, and let's see what the camera can actually get. Okay. Okay. So again, keeping our camera level to the back wall, and this is why I'm holding the camera the way that I'm holding, is so I can keep it not looking up, not looking down, because what I don't want to do is stand. If you walk back, okay. Oftentimes when someone takes a photo, they hold the phone up to their face and they just click. Okay, and I'll just show you what that looks like. That looks like this. You got lines that are converging on the bottom. Okay, so what you don't want to do is just stand holding the camera at eye level. You need to hold the camera where it is completely flat, to the wall that's behind you and perpendicular to the floor. And so if you're gonna move up or down, if you move up, you can't reframe like this. You have to crop the image later. If you move down, don't tilt up. Keep it level and then crop it later. So right now I'm holding it at waist level. And it's also pretty dark in here. So I'm gonna turn on the light. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Okay. So even though I normally would suggest not using artificial light, but this does need it. So I'm gonna do a shot just like this. Okay. And let's have okay. And the phone is telling me that shots might be blurry. Okay, so now that I have my framing and I have my people in the shot, I'm gonna ask them to do stuff so that they give me just what I need them to do. So right now, I think I'm gonna have Anthony stand up, and Jill, you're showing your left arm because your left arm shoulder hurts. And Anthony is gonna palpate. Okay, great. Okay, and then let's see, and then maybe I'll have okay, and so now I'm gonna have you lay face down. Okay, great. And then I'm gonna have you work on her right forearm. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm gonna have Anthony kind of turn your body towards us a bit more. Yeah, good. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, great. And then let me see about getting an angle shot of the same thing. Okay, excellent. And Anthony, maybe I'll have you stand on the other side of her.
Sure.
Okay, all right, and working on her arm there, or maybe working on her left shoulder. Yeah. Okay, great. And then while they're here, let me just get a zoomed in one for a more of a lifestyle shot. Okay, perfect. And let me do one from this side.
Oh, that's good.
There you go. Okay, and then maybe asking her some questions.
How does that feel, Joel?
It felt really good.
Okay, good. All right, cool. All right, so we got some shots like this. I don't like that in the background, so I'm gonna have maybe have you come work on the middle of her back more. Okay. Oops, here we go. Take a photo. Okay, good. All right, great. Perfect. Okay, all right.
How's my spine, Anthony?
It looks good.
Tense.
Yeah. I can
It
imagine.
looks good. Okay, perfect. All right, I'd say we got it.
No way.
Yeah. So I'd say that's a good shot. She's like, I don't think we got it, Anthony. Okay, I think we got it. Well, that's it. You can see how quickly we can do a shoot like this, and then so now that we have the shots, basically we're done shopping for the ingredients. Now we're gonna cook it up, and then we're gonna serve it. All right, let's do this. We're gonna set up your Google My Business page. It's not very difficult. Let's just try it. So I'm gonna go to Chrome. And I'm just going to type in your business, which is okay, so it already comes up. And so Google automatically makes a business page for you. So it's just about taking ownership of it. So it says right here, own this business, claim it now. So we're just going to do that. All right. And so basically, I'm just going to have you kind of read this and go through it. Manage this business. We're not going to do this right now. We'll get it verified in a second. But we're going to verify later. We'll add some business hours. 11 to 5, 9. Okay. Thursdays. Okay, good. And then closed. Oh, open Fridays. 11 to 5. Okay, excellent. Add messaging. You can choose to add, people can just text you. Okay. Add a business description. We can come back and do this, but for now, good. All right. And so here is the area where you get to add some photos of yourself. And so we're going to come back to this. So right now, I'm just going to go to the photo app. And based on our shot list, we're going to upload a few photos based on that. So create an album, create a new album, create album, and we'll call it online listing. Okay. And then, so let's make a few selections. I'll use that one. I'll use This one, I'll use this one, and this one, move to album, online business listing. Here we go. Okay, so then now let's go to that folder and we'll edit the photos in there, making sure they're ready. Online business listings. Okay, so not much to do here. That looks fine. That looks fine. This one is more or less straight, so not necessarily going to worry about that. This one is fine. This one is fine. This one needs to be straight because when you have a big shot like this, it just needs to be straightened. There's an edit button down here, so we can just go straight to edit. And we have our tools for straightening here. And first thing I'm going to do is look at the lines at the top and the bottom. The line at the top is straight, but the one on the bottom is leaning. And the verticals are pretty straight. So let's try and rotate it first. I'm sorry. How do I just rotate it without free transform? There we go. So here's a little rotation. And then let's try getting this more flat, and this one also. There we go. So now your vertical lines and horizontal lines are squared up. That's all we're going to do to that. Save it. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so that's it. So here are the 9 shots that we're going to upload. What do you think? Is that right? Okay. All right. So then let's go back to Google and right here. And so we'll upload some images. Browse. And browse in other apps gallery. Business listing. Okay. So the first thing we'll upload is a nice smiley headshot. Okay, let's get another one up there. Browse, gallery, online business listing. So we have a smiling one. Let's get a waiting room one. Let's get a let's get one in treatment. Let's get one. Let's browse, galleries, online. We have this one. Let's get one like that. And one more. Gallery, online business, and let's get one more smiling face. Okay, so we don't need to do too many, even though I chose more in my selections. But you can kind of tell that as long as the story is told, you don't really need to upload too many more images, because I do want to show that. He's a doctor, so he's got a blue work shirt on. He's got, which kind of looks like scrubs. He's got his stethoscope. He's got the red hazardous waste, bio-waste things in the back. So this definitely looks like a doctor. And we want to show that, it's a personal practice. So he's the one doing the scheduling and collecting the payment. And we have the waiting room and we have the treatment room. So I think this is sufficient for now. And that's it. So we're going to say next. All right, so here's the business profile. And once we get verified, we're going to add a photo of the exterior. And we can start adding updates if we need to. We did turn on the chat. And we'll have the phone number in there. And I'll show them how to get reviews. But that's it for now. See you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this content has been useful to you. If you have any questions, please send it to us via the comments or email. We'd love to get this program to fit your needs more. And if you have questions, that means others do too. So we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to make additional videos that answers your specific questions and that we can post to help others. Thanks so much.